Covert cameras have caught almost 50,000 Queensland drivers using their phones or not wearing a seatbelt in just 4 months. The new technology, which went live last July and began issuing fines in November, has already siphoned $40 million from motorists via penalties of between $413 and $1,033. Brisbane and the Gold Coast roads accounted for the bulk of infringements, followed by Cairns and Townsville, with a shocking number of drivers flouting rules that have been in place for 50 years. Far from being pleased with the revenue boost, Transport Minister Mark Bailey was disappointed to see how many drivers were failing to heed the safety message, particularly given 78s on the roads so far in 2022. Camera Icon. The new cameras have delivered about $40.6 million in revenue for state coffers. Photo, Damien Shaw, News Corp Australia. That's no better than the same period a year ago. I make no apologies for this crackdown on mobile phone use and not wearing a seatbelt, Mr. Bailey said. The cameras were installed last winter after a trial in 2020 detected 15,000 people illegally using their mobile phone and more than 2,000 drivers without a seatbelt. They went live in November, with almost 3/4 of the 47,668 infringements issued in the 4 months to February 28 for illegal mobile phone use while driving. We know using your phone while driving is the equivalent of driving with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.07 to 0.10. So this is like having 33,805 drunk drivers on our roads, Mr. Bailey said. Even more shocking was the 13,875 seatbelt offences. Camera Icon fines and forfeiture revenue are tipped to rise almost 40% to $597 million in 2021-22. News Corp Australia. To think seatbelts have been mandatory for 50 years, and almost 14,000 people have been caught doing the wrong thing in just 4 months is outrageous, Mr. Bailey said. The new cameras have so far generated about $40.6 million in revenue for the Department of Transport and main roads. Drivers caught using their phones are fined $1,033 and lose 4 demerit points, while seatbelt offences incur a $413 fine and 3 demerit points for each person not wearing one. The cameras are expected to further boost the state's coffers, with the latest budget forecast predicting fine and forfeiture revenue to jump almost 40% to $597 million in 2021-22. The trend is tipped to continue in 2022-23, with the revenue to rise another 7.4% to $641 million, with more cameras planned to be introduced over time. There were 274s on Queensland roads in 2021, slightly down from 278 in 2020, but higher than 219 in 2019. Meanwhile, a Brisbane motorist says he has received nearly $10,000 in fines for a simple act while driving, resting his phone on his leg and chatting with his friends. The eye-watering figure comes as a stark warning for Queenslanders, who now face the harshest penalties in the country if caught using their phones behind the wheel or not wearing a seatbelt.